Welcome to virtual parent-teacher conferences. So French class, I wanted to tell you guys a couple things that might help you wonder how your students could improve their grades and clear up any confusions. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. The first thing I want to mention is the junior high has asked each teacher to have some time next week to be available for parent emails or phone calls or virtual conferences. I teach at 2 junior highs in the district, so my schedule is a little bit more complicated. Email is always the best way to get a hold of me. I'm great at responding to emails, so that's my first request is please email me if you have questions, and we can go from there and set up something if you need to. But I'm always available by email, so please do that. I plan to go through and students that I'm concerned about who are failing or endangered to fail before the term ends, I will reach out so that you're aware of that and might want to follow up on that with your kids. So I wanted to just go through a couple things with you. I'm going to show you a packet for Unit 1. This one's for French 2, but French 1 is the same idea, just says the different thing and different things they're learning. So we are in Unit 1 in both Level 1 and Level 2. We have a mastery check just about every week. Mastery checks are basically just a little check-in, a little quiz to make sure students have learned what they needed to learn for the week. Definitely students can redo mastery checks. I let students redo all assignments, all mastery checks. They have up to 4 times to turn things in. The only thing that they're not allowed to redo is the unit test. But everything leading up to it, they're welcome to redo. And I'll show you a little bit more about how to follow up about that. But your students should have this paper where they are keeping track of their mastery checks, which ones they've done and what scores they've earned. There's actually 4 different columns here because that's how many times they can take it, that they can keep track. Hopefully you see improvement each time. I asked them after the first time if they didn't get mastery to study, obviously, before they try again. And then they're welcome to do that. I am here at Pleasant Grove Junior High every B day. So the day I teach your student is the day that I am available to help them before and after school. And I'm most happy to do that. No need to make an appointment for that. I'm here and they're welcome to be here as well. So I wanted to take just a couple of minutes of your time and show you Canvas and Skyward real quick. So I'm going to actually get rid of me so I can show you my screen. So here's the dashboard. I'll go into French 1's Canvas, but my setup is the same for both classes. And then I'm going to go to the student view. So this is the way it will look from the student's end. Each week I arrange each module is what we call each section, and I do that by week. Whether students are in class or in person, they should be working through the week's assignments that are set on Canvas. I start the week with an agenda. I'll go ahead and click on that. The agenda just has highlighted what we're doing in class, the days that they're here, and if anything's due, I mention that as well. I like students to have everything turned in by Friday. I put things on Canvas on Monday, and I like it turned in on Friday. After that point, it is late. I just take off half of a point if it's late. The half is really just an indicator so we can see if they're continually doing things late or not. So here's the agenda. And in the agenda, I ask them to check their grade and let me know if they're missing anything, if they have mastery on everything. And if they do not, then I like them to list out what they do not have mastery on and a specific plan to get to mastery within the next week. I do that so that they have to look at their grades and make a plan. So that's the agenda, and that's in the first thing in every week's module. And then there's the assignments. I for most weeks, I have a little lesson on Nearpod that will review what we're talking about. So if your student is not in school for whatever reason, there's some information that they can follow here, and then different assignments that need to be completed. So again, if your student is absent, they absolutely need to do everything in the week's module. If students are in class, sometimes instead of doing what's on Canvas, we do an in-class assignment, and I make sure students that are here know what they do not need to complete. But they're here, and that should be easy for them to know. I also want to make sure that you know that Canvas is just the teacher's way of collecting assignments. Once the students turn in an assignment, I have to grade that, and then I have to manually send that grade over to Skyward. Skyward is the student's official grade. So what you see in Skyward is what you need to be concerned about. I'm going to pull up a student's grade, and this is actually my daughter. So I give myself permission to show you her grades. So when you are in your student's Skyward account, you will see their grades. Yours will look slightly different from mine since I have teacher access, but this part should look familiar to you. So you'll see your student's grade. It will have a citizenship and it will have a letter grade. For whatever class you want to look at, you're just going to click right on the grade, and then that will bring up the work and how your student has done. Anything that is in blue or green are the colors we're looking for. You can see it when I toggle over it. It says exceeds mastery. Mastery is 80%. So anything above 80% is above the expectation for the course. So again, blue is exceeding, green is mastery, and those are the two colors you're looking for. If there is anything in yellow or red, those are things that your student are going to want to redo to pull up the grade. My daughter's got some pretty great grades right now. She's been working really hard. So I'm trying to see, okay, here's some blues and greens. She doesn't have anything that is yellow or red. So for me as her parent, when I look at this and I see on her mastery checks for her math class that she's got blues and greens, I'm pretty proud of her. You can see a green, a mastery, usually correlates to a B because, again, that is 80%. So B is great, and I'm super proud and happy for her. This green is fantastic. I know that she could do better on a couple of these, though. So I'll actually just remind her that she might want to do a retake for some of these mastery checks she's done in her math class, just to pull it up to green, see if she can't get it any better. Even though mastery is fantastic, exceeding mastery might be where your student wants to be. But again, don't worry too much about these letter grades here. Saying it's a B on the assignment isn't a huge deal. That's not going to equal a bad grade for the course. So yeah, have your student pull up their grades. This works for every class. Just click right on the course, check the colors. Again, anything that's yellow, like caution, or red for stop, are things that you're going to want your student to get caught up on. Anyhow, if you have any questions, please let me know. And email is fantastic. If you'd like to meet, I'm happy to do a virtual call with you. Thanks so much.